What's up everybody on YouTube? AJ Rose back to discuss another video, and today you already see the name of the title of this video. Are the Dallas Cowboys cursed? It definitely seems that way because over the past 27 years they haven't had really any true success. The furthest they made is the divisional round in the playoffs, and that just happened this year in the 22-23 season, getting bounced out by the San Francisco 49ers, which is very unfortunate for them. It really does seem like they're cursed. I mean, they have these great rosters of teams, and don't get me wrong, their defense is stellar. Of course, them bringing back Dan Quinn next year is going to be huge because he ended up saying that he's going to come back to the Cowboys. That'll be huge for them, having Micah Parsons on the defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs, a whole slew of people, J-Ron Kearse, a lot of good playmakers on the defensive end. But offensively, we saw how Dak Prescott was literally non-existent and just a turnover machine this year. Prescott missed 5 games in the regular season, and he still managed to throw the same amount of interceptions as Davis Mills, the Texans quarterback. It's 15 interceptions, and he had 2 crucial ones against the San Francisco 49ers, which ultimately determined the outcome of the game if you look at it. Many have argued that if Dak Prescott was able to just play competent football and play above average, which you would think that he would be able to do considering his contract and his name, but at this point name means nothing because he's just been playing like a mid-tier quarterback, especially this season. Next year he has a lot riding on him in his contract because it's his last guaranteed deal with the Dallas Cowboys, and they'll have a lot of discussions to be made. If he plays like this next year, there's no chance that the Cowboys bring him back in 24. Before I just get back to the football things though, we have to talk about Jerry Jones. Obviously the huge elephant in the room. Everything goes his way. He's the executive, the vice president of football operations, the GM, everything. He controls everything. Nothing goes by him, and he wants the ultimate power. He wants the credit and all of those things. And we saw that in the interview after the game, after the 49ers beat the Cowboys, that he was literally sick.
This is very sickening to not win tonight.
Okay, so not literally sick, but definitely hurt because Jerry has been on the record saying how much he wants to win another Super Bowl. I don't blame him. It's been 27 years. I've been alive for 20 years. I don't know what the Cowboys even going to a championship game, the NFC championship game looks like. I've never seen that, so it's just crazy to say that. But the Cowboys, they have a lot of evaluating to do. Like I mentioned earlier, Dan Quinn is coming back for that defense, so the defense probably will be one of the top in the league. We'll see what happens in the draft and in free agency if they're able to add more assets and pieces. Shifting gears to the offense, though, you have a lot of decisions to make. Dalton Schultz, trying to keep him. He showed that he's a very productive tight end, one of the better tight ends in the league. Tony Pollard, obviously, he got injured in that San Francisco game, but I feel like he proved enough this year, having a Pro Bowl selection this year, that he is, honestly, in my opinion, running back 1. I think Ezekiel Elliott, he's a power back at this point, but it's been a few years since he's been really elite. Honestly, it's just his name that really just captivates everybody because I think that Ezekiel Elliott, he's not the same player that he was. Zeke has already said that he wants to take a pay cut and that he's willing to do that to help the team win, but I don't even know if the Cowboys do that. And if that was his last game because of 49ers, that last play when he got ran over on that silly last minute play that the Cowboys tended to do, that's a tough way to go out. But I think that the Cowboys, they have a lot to look forward to. Like I said, re-signing Tony Pollard, that's going to be huge, extending him, but also they have a first round pick. I believe it's a 26 pick, and I think on Mel Kiper Jr.'s mock draft for the 2023 draft, he has the Dallas Cowboys taking Texas running back Bijan Robinson. Bijan would definitely help out the Dallas Cowboys backfield, like I said, with the aging Ezekiel Elliott potentially out of the window, Tony Pollard coming back. I think Pollard and Robinson being in the backfield for the Cowboys, that would be huge for the 2023 campaign. And Robinson's junior year this past season, he had over 1,500 rushing yards and 18 total touchdowns. Robinson being in Dallas would certainly help the Cowboys be more of a potent rushing attack. But we also have to talk about the offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. Now, Dak Prescott definitely played trash this season. There's no doubt about that. He did not play anywhere near the level that we've seen him before, protecting the football and things like that. But Kellen Moore did not help him at all. His play calling really was predictable. And over the past 2 years, at the end of the season, the Cowboys had really a big drop-off going into the postseason. In 2021 and in 2022, the rushing game dropped off tremendously, and they were really getting pass reliant, which we saw wasn't the key for the Cowboys. When Dak Prescott missed those 5 games, the Cowboys were playing really good football. They were playing through the running game. The defense was carrying, which was, like I said, the huge bright spot for that team and going forward. And Cooper Rush was playing mistake-free football until the Philadelphia Eagles game, but he played great. He proved to be one of the best backups in the league. And then they really just shied away from that once Dak got back. They were starting to still run the ball more, but then as Dak continued to come back and play even more, they started to get more pass reliant, and that's what happened the past 2 seasons. They just dropped off the running game, and then they went pass reliant, and this year it cost them in turnovers. Now, you can say that some of those interceptions weren't Dak's fault. Some of them were tipped, to say the least. But a lot of passes he just forced. And really, he could have had more interceptions because in the 49ers game, there was a couple of throws that he had were so questionable. Like, it's like, what were you doing? And there was also an opportunity for him to throw a wide open touchdown to T.Y. Hilton, but he forced it to C.D. Lamb. So a lot of the things that Dak did this season were just so questionable. And he really didn't look like himself. And it was really tough to see because, I mean, you love the person, the personality, but he's just not getting it done on the field. Like I've said before, the defense is a huge bright spot for the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons, he's a franchise piece. A lot of people try to call him the next Lawrence Taylor, but let him just be the next Micah Parsons. He's going to continue to be great. For sure in his future, I think going to be a multiple time defense player of the year. So that's their huge bright spot. And like I said, Trevon Diggs being one of the best corners in the league, his discipline has went a lot up in the past 2 years. They won't even throw at him now because they know he's a threat to get an interception. So that's huge from him. DeMarcus Lawrence, great on that defensive line. Even Vander Esch played really good this year. So the Cowboys just have a lot of good bright spots defensively. That's their huge trademark right now, I would say. And then offensively, I mean, they just need to get more weapons, in my opinion. Something that would be crazy, which I don't even know if this is even possible, but trading for DeAndre Hopkins or just getting some more wide receiver help, some more weapons. We saw that they were in the talks, for Odell Beckham Jr., but he was hurt and he wasn't going to be able to play in the playoffs, so that ultimately fell things apart. But someone that can help instantly to make them have a huge playoff run and just add more weapons. But at the end of the day, these receivers can't pass themselves the ball. C.D. Lamb, he had a 1,000-yard receiving year, and he proved that he can be a number one target. So you really don't have any questions with C.D. But the thing, like I said before, these players can't throw themselves the ball. Dak has to play less mistake-free football. I mean, it's really that simple. Throwing 15 interceptions and really 17 in total with the playoffs is unacceptable. If we see Dak how he played against that Tampa Bay game, if we see him play like that for the most of the regular season, he'll be regarded as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. But he has to be consistently and play like that. The Cowboys, that's the one thing with them this season. They were very inconsistent. So that's the thing about that. If Dak can play like that Tampa Bay game, albeit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were not good at all this year, hugely dysfunctional. They fired their offensive coordinator and Byron Leftwich, so a lot of dysfunction there. We don't even know if Tom Brady is going to return to Tampa Bay, return to football in general. But yeah, like I said, if Dak can play like that, that'll be huge for the Cowboys, but that's a huge if. Like they say, if was a fifth, we'd be all drunk. So we'll see what Dak Prescott brings to the table this season. He'll be 30 in 2023. So he's getting up there. He's not getting any younger. He's still, I'd say, in his prime. He didn't drop off like Russell Wilson. Man, that was crazy. But yeah, Dak, you have a lot on your table for 2023. It's now or never. So before closing out this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Jerry Jones. Hey, we know this is your franchise. You made this the most profitable football team in the NFL. No doubt about that. But are you going to continue getting their own way and winning? Some people like to talk about, the racial injustice, all of those things that have been, skeptical, or some people have tried to talk about Jerry Jones or that little Arkansas photo that came out when he was in high school. No one's talking about that. I'm talking about from a football standpoint right now. Are you going to continue to get in the Cowboys' way? We know that you're in control of everything, but sometimes you have to sacrifice to win. That's the ultimate thing, the sacrifice, make big moves. And to do that, are the Cowboys really willing to do that? These guys might actually be cursed. And like I've said, I'm 20 years old. I haven't seen the Cowboys reach anything significant in my life. So we'll see what happens, man. I hope for Jerry Jones' sake and for him that he sees the Cowboys win in his lifetime again. Because, like I said, life is not guaranteed. But it really does seem like they're cursed. And let me know in the comments down below if you think so. Because if they aren't cursed, I don't know what is. Because like Stephen A. Smith says, it's like a black cat is running around their franchise. So anyways, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SwaggyRuss, and also on TikTok at SwaggyRuss02 for shorts and cooking content and things like that. I appreciate y'all always. This is going to be a great year. Like I continue to say, 2023 is going to be a blessed year for y'all, for me, for everyone. Just manifest and know that you can do anything. I appreciate it and love y'all. Peace.